The other thing I suggest too, Steph, is, you already are at a point of contention in the market. There's tension in the market. You can't even hold on to a nice gain from a better than expected print in CPI. And I don't know what that tells you about where the overall market is. Again, a foundation with some cracks in it. So it's not going to take much for sort of fall through the floor. I'm not suggesting by any means by saying that a big downdraft, but you already have some tension there.
Yeah, you have tension and you have seasonality, a weak month in September, so expect volatility. I've been saying that for a couple of weeks now. One of the main reasons we've seen a defensive market and a return to growth since May is because of Delta and the concerns there. If we are peaking in Delta, and the numbers suggest at least kind of stabilizing, right, then that means that growth can stay, the economic growth can stay above trend. And then you have the reopen names like will outperform, the cyclicals will outperform, and you might see a rotation out of defensive growth, secular growth. But this is why we've talked all along about having a little bit of both, having economically sensitive companies, because we will stay above trend for the next, I think, year or so. We are going to see more inflation, and I would argue those inflation numbers today are misleading. Right, CPI is up 5.3% year over year. Core is up 4.7% year over year. Those are big numbers. And we haven't even seen rental increases just yet. And wages are going up. So I think you have above average growth in the economy. You have more inflation. That's why you want to own some cyclicals, some reopen. But at the same time, if Apple were to fall 10%, you want to buy that. So that's why I have this barbell, and I'm consistent on that.
That's why, Degas, I just want to throw it out. You could make the case in some respects that today is not an Apple story. It's a market story, because there's a lot riding on today beyond just what Apple tells you they have their sexy new phone and their different watch and their AirPods and whatever else they say with that streaming sort of code that they come out with. And if there's one more big thing or whatever it is, and we're going to be all over it. There it is, 1 o'clock Eastern. The exchange is going to be covering that. So we're 44 minutes away. Degas?
Yeah, so ultimately, you're absolutely right. It's more about the market sentiment. And I will actually move it away from Apple and look at some other things that may be driving the capital markets and may add uncertainty to it, such as the debt ceiling debate that's going to be going on, the tax policy that could have an impact on the markets. And as Steph mentioned, the Delta variant, it looks like the 7-day moving average of cases are starting to move down now, which could be positive for the market, but that's still a question mark out there. So I actually see this market sentiment not so much focused only on Apple, but on some other factors that could impact the markets.
Yeah.